Yo, I'm sorry, but I will defend these logs. I'm seeing more comments today. Remember, I posted the one yesterday. It was in a Vaush subreddit, I think, where a guy's like, but like, you can't be like, oh, well, they're not pedophile, but like, bro, like you, and Vaush is especially guilty of this. Left-leaning people are some of the most cancerous, vitriolic, disgusting fucking monsters on the internet right now. Let's say that it was the fact that I was just streaming on Cozy because I wanted a bigger audience and it was going to benefit them. So what? Like, okay, okay. I've talked about this on stream before. Oh, fuck, okay. Latest pedo accusation dropped. Guys, I went from sharing a 15-year-old swimsuit pictures with friends to saying it should be okay to marry 16-year-olds. When did I say it should be okay to marry 16-year-olds? Holy shit, people are insane. Sus hill to die on. I wonder why he's dying on this hill. This is when he was 23. Ah, yes, let me use these decade-old things because I can't find anything modern and relevant to my point. Surely nobody would have changed from their 20s into their 30s. Yo, I'm sorry, but I will defend these logs. I don't think it's that crazy to say, holy shit, there are minors out there that could look old and be really fucking hot, and you gotta be really careful when you go to fucking events. You don't get fucking arrested because you're fucking a minor, you don't even realize it. Yeah, of course I'll defend that. Fuck out of here with your virtue signal fucking bullshit. I don't need that cuck-ass bullshit in my life. There are 15, 16, 17-year-old girls that look like they're in their early fucking 20s, especially once you start getting the right clothes and makeup on. Get the fuck out of here with that virtue signal. My dick only turns on the minute they turn 18. Shut the fuck up, you little virtue signaling fucking virgin fuck. Like, you've never fucked a girl in your life. How are you gonna sit here and tell me, like, what you would? Like, get the fuck out of here, okay? I don't care about these people. That Duncan dude is insane, and so is everybody else who's acting like what I'm saying is insane, okay? Go step out of your fucking house and go look at people, okay? Get the fuck out of here. You know exactly when some girl turns 18. I've seen 20-year-old Asian chicks that look like they're 12 years old, and I've seen 15-year-olds that I thought were in their 20s, okay? The fuck out of here with that virtue signal bullshit. Don't fuck minors because it's wrong, okay? But don't sit here and pretend that like, oh, I have never in my entire life have I ever fucking seen somebody. Like, motherfucker, you're a conservative posting on Twitter. You probably jerked it to some fucking hot chick before that was actually trans person. You didn't even fucking realize it, okay? How many of these fucking conservatives that think they can perfectly tell the type of body and the age of somebody has accidentally beat it to some fucking sneaky pics without even realizing that it's a guy? I think. Wait, is sneaky trans? Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Like, the fuck out of here. This is gonna be impossible to parasocially defend on Twitter. I don't care. Don't defend it then. It's like this is I don't like collective fiction. It drives me crazy. And I understand that I exist outside of the bubble of like the normal cultural fiction, but like the cultural fiction of like, and I'm seeing more comments today. Remember, I posted the one yesterday. It was in a Vaush subreddit, I think, where a guy's like, I'm 19, and even me thinking about 18-year-old girls now is really hard. It's like, bro, what the fuck? Are you fucking serious? Really, dude? You're 19 and now you're too old for 18. You're like, what is this collective delusion that we're all sitting here and pretending? Like, I'm pretty sure that when they've done psych studies and they've given people girls to look at and they've put all sorts of men looking at these pictures, I'm pretty sure that the average age that men start fucking getting horny people is literally 16-year-old girls. You can go and look up the research, and if that makes you uncomfortable, that's fine. Just don't talk about it then. But don't sit here and pretend like we have to enter your collective delusion, okay? Or that you're so immoral, you can't help but fuck a minor if she doesn't look a certain way. Like, what kind of dumb fucking, like, the reason why you don't fuck minors is because you don't want to take advantage of people, because you don't want to enter into sexual relationships where they can't fully comprehend the outcomes of it. There's power differences, all sorts of reasons to not fuck minors. You should be able to justify why it's bad to fuck minors without having to resort to this collective delusion of, well, they don't even look good to me. Oh, fuck out of here, loser. I like how the Vaush audience moved. Because I think Vaush started to give this audience he gave this argument to his audience so they use it. Just because destiny is sometimes technically correct doesn't mean he isn't morally disgusting at almost all times. What? What does that mean?
Keep hating your life then, like, working class Andy.
Yeah, Destiny's right about a lot of stuff, but it's morally wrong. What is that? What are you talking about? If your reaction to Republicans trying to legalize grooming and child marriage is say, actually, etymologically, it's not pedophilia, then you have debate, bro, brain rot. I don't understand how so many people miss the point of all of this shit. I'll say it again. I don't know if we ever talked about this on stream. If you misuse the word pedophile, then you can't really get mad at other people that misuse the word pedophile. Like, I'm sorry, but like when we try to say that like, oh, like, you know, that 30-year-old guy fucked a 17-year-old, like he's a pedophile. He's not a fucking pedophile. Or this 22-year-old fucked a 7-year-old, but that's not a pedophile. That's not what pedophile means. That's not even why people fuck minors. 90% of the people that have sex with underage people aren't even like pedophiles or ebobophiles or whatever. They're just predators that are preying on like certain situations. Like only 10% of people that have been convicted of like sex crimes with minors have even had like any other like underage sexual relationships, look at child porn, et cetera, et cetera. Usually just people that are opportunistic predators. That's 90% of the time, based on the stats that I've seen. I don't know if anybody has a link. This came up in a debate a while ago. It's like 90% of people aren't even actually underage attracted people or whatever. But the, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but like if people start calling like gay people or trans people, oh, they're like pedophile groomers. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, is it bad that they're making fun of trans and gay people? Yeah, of course it is. But like, you can't be like, oh, well, they're not pedophile. But like, bro, like you and Vaush is especially guilty of this, using like fascist and Nazi and all this shit to say that everybody is that, and then getting mad that conservatives call people they don't like socialists. Like, bro, if you're doing the same thing. Most people were mad. It seemed like you were equating calling a guy marrying a 16-year-old to calling a random gay or trans person a pedo. No, I'm saying that when you destroy words, they don't mean anything anymore. So you can't really get mad when people when people are using words in stupid fucking ways. They banned DGG from the sub and constantly post about you. They post every major tweet I have. They're constantly posting them, yeah. Oh, they have another post about me. Oh, these types of this is the most retarded brain rot. I permaban you from my sub when I see shit like this. Why would you try so hard to get me banned from other platforms and then shout at me for arguing with left-leaning people all the time? And then when I go to look at another platform and start debating people, everybody's like, why is he going over there? Why is he going over there? Like, what do you think, you fucking moron? Like, what if you're trying to get me banned from every other fucking platform and you're tired of me debating left-leaning people, why the fuck wouldn't I go where there are more right-wingers? There's literally nothing, like, it's so stupid. There's a really, oh fuck, I hate citing his comics because I think he might be a Nazi. I'm only repeating that because I've heard it. Maybe he's not. Where's the Stone Toss comic where like somebody shoving somebody on the other? Can somebody find this? Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Maybe it's not a Stone Toss comic, actually. I feel like it is, though. Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to find it. But there was a, also, that tweet was after you'd already mentioned doing it anyway, wasn't it? Yeah, I mentioned this like months ago, I'm pretty sure. There's some comic where it's like, there's like a bunch of people on one side and they like push some dude out of their side and then he goes to fall on the other side. I think somebody catches him and then the people are like, why are you working with them? Or so, it's like some really dumb shit. But like, I don't know how you can act surprised if you act so unbelievably fucking callous towards everybody in your sphere and you are the most Nazi-ish fucking virtue signaling piece of shit ever. And then some people hop over to the other side and you're like, oh my God, look, you're the other side. Like what? That isn't a Stone Toss one? It might not be, yeah. Fuck, I don't know which comic I'm thinking of. Oh shit, it wasn't a, it's kind of like a cringy lay centrist comic, but like, because this is, both sides make good points. But I mean, like, this is a real problem, right? Like, if you are going to be some of the most, and they are right now, left-leaning people are some of the most cancerous, vitriolic, disgusting fucking monsters on the internet right now. And when you act that way and you shove people away, like, what do you expect is going to happen? You can't be surprised when they start, like, joining other factions. And I haven't even joined any other faction. Jesus. I feel like the meme genuinely happens on both sides. You're just in the left spaces. I think it depends on who's currently winning the wars or whatever, right? Well, I think when the right was like a little bit more in control, they did it. But now I think they're a little bit more accepting to people than people on the left. Like, yeah. The meaning of a word can be different in common parlance and in academia. You were saying the word is meaningless because the definition is broadened, but missing that meaning comes from how people understand it. No, here's my issue, my dude. I'm only gonna talk about this one time and then I'm moving on because it's like I'm so obviously right and it's such a painfully boring conversation, okay? The reason why I don't like it when people misuse these words is because they develop a bad understanding of where these problems come from and that inhibits our ability to fix the problems. That's my issues, okay? My issue is that people think that people that fuck minors are pedophiles. If you go through life thinking that, then your goal is to make sure that there are no sex offenders or pedophiles near your kids and that you're safe. That's not true, though. You haven't done anything to protect your kids, because the average person that abuses a minor is not a pedophile. It's people that aren't, that don't have any attraction to minors. It's just people that are in positions of power over them for long periods of time that engage in predatory behavior. That's what happens. That's where the vast majority, 90% of people that abuse minors that are over the age of consent are people that are taking advantage of power differences. Babysitters, teachers, family friends, stuff like this. People that aren't traditional pedophiles. So if you're fixated on that word pedophile, and you're hyper-fixated on it, and you've blown that word out to mean a million different things, we lose the ability to diagnose the problems and accurately fix them. That's the issue that I have. That's the problem. But the problem is, is it really 90%? Yes, find the data. Somebody go look for it. All right, fuck it, I'll search for it. Percentage of child sex offenders who are pedophile. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this again. I don't want to search for somebody may monitor because I just for something dumb that will pop up. Okay, I'm clicking on something that there's this, and then there might be I think there was a big either Vox or Slate article as well on this. This paper addresses 5 common misperceptions about the perpetrators of sexual offenses against children. Misperception number 1: all child sex offenders are pedophiles. Term pedophile and child sex offender are often used interchangeably. It's important to understand, however, these two terms have different meanings. Let's see if we can find. Although it should be noted that the term. Does this give that? I don't know if that 90% figure comes in here. Fuck. Okay, the 90% figure doesn't come in here, but... Oh, wait, maybe, hold on. The role of opportunity in sexual offending against children. It is also important to recognize that not all child sex offenders feel driven or compelled to sexually abuse children. In fact, opportunity can play a key role in the commission of sexual offenses against children, blah, blah, blah. Research indicated that situational environmental factors play a key role in sexual offending against children. For example, a late onset of offending behavior, 37% were aged 31 to 40. A low incidence of chronic sexual offending, less than 1/4 had previous convictions of sexual offenses. A high incidence of previous non-sexual offending, a low incidence of stranger abuse, a low incidence of networking among offenders. Only 8% had talked to other offenders. Oh, this is where that figure came from. I must have read it in another thing. A low incidence of child pornography use. Approximately 10% had used child pornography, and a low incidence of paraphiliac interest. Very small proportions could have been diagnosed with other sexually deviant interests, such as voyeurism or sexual sadism. People have this idea that remember to add to Zotero, true. People have this idea that people that abuse children are like these crazy, horrible, evil pedophile people, when in reality, they're usually predators that are preying on opportunity. It's not people that go out into society looking for children. It's people that wind up watching a child for one reason or another that become predators and prey on the opportunity. It's a key difference. And how you would treat both of these things is going to be quite different, because if your eyes are open looking for pedophiles, you're not going to find the people that are actually abusing your kids. But here, you can go look at that. Knock yourself out. Okay. Wait, why did that Jason guy messaged me and said, you're a cowardly little bitch? Wait, why? We just talked. Wait, what the fuck? The history guy? No, the guy that I talked to a while ago that said there were no difference between men and women. Wait a minute, like 2 or 3 days ago. Hold on, we'll get there, okay. When do I get to put money on who wants to bet? First stream, why I left the left. People are making jokes about this for like 2 or 3 years for me. When is it gonna happen? Destiny destroyed his relationship with black people, trans people, and the larger left. He should have been friends with Vaush, considering the type of humor Vaush has. That relationship totally rude. Who do you think? What the fuck? He's on a speed run to become a right-wing grifter under the guise of centrism. How horrible am I speed running when I've been supposedly doing this for 3 years? He can blame woke skulls for ruining the left all he wants, but at the end of the day, he's going to have to take responsibility for his own actions. He's the one who wrecked his relationship with Vaush? Wait, What? How did I, by having a debate with him, I wrecked the relationship? Jesus, this subreddit. His rhetoric has become more inflammatory over time. I need to make like a compilation of my old debates again. Where is August at against conservatives? I truly think people just don't know. Jesus. Did they ban me from the subreddit? Yeah, I don't even know why. Or probably just because they banned everybody from my sub.
Keep hating your life then, working class Andy.
He may be good at debate, but keep in mind, if he starts making right-wing arguments, he'll lose a huge advantage that lefty debaters have being correct. What other lefty debaters are correct? Sorry. Most of the lefty debaters online suck shit. Like, it's embarrassing to even consider myself, like, colleagues with you fucking losers. Like, who are you? The best lefty debater online was only Vaush when he was copying my takes. Most of you guys are fucking trash. So, like, it's not like I'm in good company in either place. Actually, well, I'll qualify a little. There are some smaller channels that aren't as popular that are pretty good. The Econo Boy guy seems good. Why is chat halfway covering your camera? It's just my... Who cares? You just... There. Jesus. Like, you can still see me. Kelly, stop being homophobic. If you watch Destiny's very early streams and content, you see him being middle right leaning to left, but low key, I feel like he's pivoting because he's getting outclassed intellectually. True. I like this too. Let's say theoretically, we'll contend with more emotional or personal arguments too. Okay. Let's say this, right? Let's say that it was the fact that I was just streaming on Cozy because I wanted a bigger audience and it was going to benefit them. So what? Like, would you expect me to martyr myself for your weird causes when all of these people are so aggressively positioned against me? Like, even if that was the case, I don't plan on streaming there regularly. But like. It also brings new people to Cozy, you know, the Nazi streaming state. Is that necessary sacrifice for the content? Like, maybe it is. Like, why the fuck would I care, right? Do you think I'm invested in helping you build your platforms? Like, if you're just going to ban me from it? Like, what? Yeah, like, what the fuck? He's too much of a self-interested cunt, devoid of any principles and vision whatsoever. They will descend into whatever shithole he can to still cater to the delusional horde of cultists that he has inculcated? Inculcated? Inculcated. I think your hatred of a person whose content you barely know is very unhealthy. You should check outside and touch some grass. Why the fuck are you trying to preach here? I know enough of that fuck's antics to say that he is a deeply unpleasant and morally questionable person with extreme reactionary tendencies. And the community he's gathered around him is the most delusional and sycophantic group of crybabies that I've ever seen in my life. Very unpleasant bunch of people. If you are so sycophantic and deluded that you have come to a subreddit that is clearly hostile to that DGG shithole you come from, to preach about how him joining an extreme reactionary fringe media is good for progressives, then you fucks claim to be, you need to do more than touch grass to come back to reality. Oh my God. Holy shit. If he approaches things so reasonably, why do you think he receives backlash from a lot of his most recent subjects? Detransitioning being one. His approach to... Wait, wow, what is the... I can't even talk to people that are detransitioners? It's not like I'm anti-trans. What the fuck? Platforming people like Nick Fuentes? Even Vaush said it was a good debate, and he never compliments me. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ. What was irresponsible about the detransitioning stuff? He brought on 2 people who had detransitioned who wanted to speak about it. They didn't say that trans people don't exist or that gender dysphoria isn't real. They just explained their situation, how they came to transition, and why for them it wasn't the answer to their problems, why they chose to transition. Neither of them said any yikesy stuff. I think the second one questioned some of the science behind puberty blockers, but the only controversial thing mentioned. You should look into the entire subject before thinking about that. Simply talking to 2 people is that simple. What the fuck? I mean, maybe you can enlighten me, point me in the right direction, something rather than saying you should look into the subject. I know that conservatives use detransitions to attack trans people. That doesn't mean that detransition, you're talking about the topic, is inherently bad. Do something as simple as searching, as going to Wikipedia on the subject. Jesus Christ. It's actual insanity. Oh my God. Do something. I'm not here to educate you. The question is, why do you have to stream on Cozy? Why not just find big critics and debate them on their stream? One, because it represents a significantly new audience that I could start to pull people from. 2, if I do debate somebody on there and I'm not streaming on there, I feel like I'm just giving them a fuck ton of viewers. And then 3, I used to debate more people, pulling people from chat and whatnot. I don't know. Could be interesting. I'm not even 100% sure if I will yet. Oh, wait, there was even more. Hold on. Do something as simple as going to Wikipedia on the subject. So you've got nothing. Tell me you didn't read anything on that page without telling me you didn't read anything on that page. So you've still got nothing on why detransition talks were bad. The Wikipedia page gives a decent baseline. Go ahead and look at the comment thread where I dove deeper into this. Wait, what? Hold on. I'm just going to read this. I'm sorry, that looked interesting. So you believe the existence of reactionaries means you should avoid looking at things critically? Should reactionaries have that much control over discourse that you're afraid to talk about issues that might trigger them? Do you also believe that people who are going through transition and then stop shouldn't have a space to tell their experience because it might be harmful to the discourse as some people take it out of context? That's a good comment. -10. Downvote him as well. You should always approach things critically and in a charitable way. Being afraid of reactionaries isn't what I'm saying, but if you're attempting to be an advocate for something, you should actively do that, and when you have a platform, be aware of the influence you have. Do I believe people who stop transitioning should be able to tell their story? No. Do I think a streamer who is accused of being transphobic but swears he's not? I don't swear that I'm not transphobic, by the way. I don't give a fuck. If you want to view me as transphobic, knock yourself out. I'm all of that and more, okay? Whatever the fuck you want to think. Like, I think that my past, my positions and everything, I think they speak for themselves, okay? If you think I'm transphobic, fuck you. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. No. Do I think a streamer who is accused of being transphobic but swears he's not should use his platform? No. I gave all my reasons for these questions in my first comment, so I'm not sure what you're trying to do other than white knight for your favorite internet streamer. He's so much my favorite, not a single one of my last 1,000 comments in his sub. Oh, this was this guy's comment history, and he hasn't commented on my sub in 1,000 comments. Nice. Oh man, I just got owned. If you want to have a good faith discussion, then I'm down, but I'm not sure what you're doing. Oh, he got even downvoted for this. Jesus, this subreddit is insane. The implication is pretty clear. Not pretty clear. I asked a bunch of questions. Okay, sure. I'm actually curious. Perhaps you can educate me. Maybe there was nothing to actually discuss in my original comment. I did see that Destiny was going to bring on a detransition person on. I don't know if it's already happened or not. In either case, I didn't watch it. Did you? And if so, what sort of things did you actually talk about? -3, downvoted. I'm not truly sure if I can post the link to the video. I'd be happy to share it in DMs if you're interested. It was pretty lengthy, but they had a pretty decent conversation about a lot of things. One thing that stuck out with me was when they said, and this isn't an exact quote, but if they were able to just have an instant cis male body, that it would have saved them a lot of hardship. I don't like to comment on people's experiences, but there were moments throughout the interview that I felt like they had decided it was easier to just live as a woman instead of a trans man. They talked about how their therapist, when they first started to transition, had never seen a trans client. That, to me, is just an instant issue. Wait, what is the issue? I'm not saying the space shouldn't exist for people to share their experiences, but at the same time, I feel like no matter how good these intentions were, it's just not good optics to platform a sensitive topic like that, especially in a time like this. And wait, what is the issue? What are they saying? Okay, I'm not gonna shit on this person. So, there are so many ways that this could go. I'm curious how he responds further. To your question, I don't. To be honest, I want to make something really clear on why I don't think this topic should be validated to a platform where someone is a member of controversy. They're an estimated 1.4 million trans. Oh, he's just going to do the very few people detransition. Their story is valid, their experience is valid. Now, with that said, they're 1.37 million trying to invalidate and criminalize in some cases. Wait. Personally, every story of detransitioning I've heard, including the one in this interview, were due to issues of their dysphoria being too much that transitioning was not enough to cure the dysphoria. Now, this is anecdotal, so for all I know, there's hundreds of reasons, but the one I find the most is the idea that transitioning added to their dysphoria and caused it to worsen to the point of reversing the transition. This creates a very real problem where reactionaries think this is actually more widespread and that 1.37 million people are just in a phase towards detransitioning. I think, although valid in their experience, it is dangerous at Feel the Fire that is happening with trans rights. I think that D is smart enough to understand why this shouldn't happen. Okay. Whew. Okay. Here are... I've talked about this on stream before. Oh, fuck. Okay. In my opinion, there are two of the worst times in a trans person's life. This is what it seems like from the emails that I've gotten. The second worst experience in a trans person's life is when they start puberty and their body is really changing in ways that they fucking hate. They might not even know they're trans. They just know that they fucking hate their body. That's the second worst one. The first worst one, the worst experience, is right after you start HRT, there is this 1 to 12 month period where you don't know what you're going to look like after transitioning. You feel like a fucking freak. You don't like the way that you look. Your mind is going crazy, especially if you're male to female, because now you've got hormones and shit that are fucking you up in ways you've never had before. And one common thing that I see a lot of trans people emailing me is something that I see a lot is people saying, when I started hormone therapy and I didn't like the results I was getting, I kind of considered just quitting and then just going back to living not covert. There was a term that I saw some people, but just living as like a gender that I hate because I don't think I'm ever going to get the results that I want as a trans person. That seemed to be like an overwhelming thing that I got. That first year of transitioning medically is really, really, really rough. I don't know if this guy thinks that that's not real or that that's not worth talking about in the closet. Repressing, I think was the one. But I think that's a really important thing to give light to. You don't talk about that transitioning is hard as an attempt to scare people off transitioning. I think you talk about that transitioning is hard so that people know that when they start it, they have the ability to see it through. Because like it is difficult. And when I read comments like this over and over again, and I've read more than this on Vaush's subreddit, I understand more now for people that email me that are trans people that consider themselves trans medicalists. I see where their point of view is coming from. Because when people like this make comments and they're like, oh, these people just say they can't treat their dysphoria, whatever, they basically make dysphoria sound like a joke. And they kind of have this like celebration of like, oh my God, you're transitioning. Oh, that's so cute. For like the non-binary they thems that are like, oh yeah, I'm on hormones and it's so much fun in my hair and my clothes, whatever. That lived experience is so much different than a trans person that has a ton of dysphoria, that already had a puberty that fucked them, that are now desperately trying to medically transition and socially transition, and they don't even know if they're gonna make it, and they might just kill themselves because holy fuck, it's all horrible. They might go back and go be in the closet for their, like, I understand, I see the chasm between these experiences, why they get so frustrated from the limited experience that I've gotten. This is really irritating to read. I feel like this person is missing a lot of the experience, but who knows, fuck it. Like, even when they put like cure and exclamation marks here, every story of detransition I've heard, including the one in this interview, were due to issues of their dysphoria being too much that their transitioning is not enough to cure the dysphoria. Like, what do you think, that it's like dysphoria isn't real, or that HRT or socially or medically transition can't cure dysphoria or help it, or? Because I feel like they're missing all the people that do transition and have incredibly positive experiences afterwards. Because a lot of the emails that I get from older people were people that had successfully transitioned. They had a horrible, like 6 to 12 months. It sucked. But once they transitioned, they were like everything is like fine. One girl sent me a picture of her and 2 friends. She's like, yeah, I get hit on like by guys like with all my other friends. Like I pass super well. Like everything is like super cool. Like I super love it. Like a lot of people do make it. And this was somebody that I think described their initial phase, especially people before FFS, for the female feminization surgery or facial feminization surgery, which is apparently a really big one I didn't know about until like a week ago. That is apparently, this is like one of the most major important for some people trans surgeries. It's because there are these uwu people that think being trans is the greatest thing. Yeah, okay, I don't want to talk about trans anymore. Stop. Move off this. Fuck. What a fucking loser. I don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Okay. I'll be back. I gotta drink Red Bull. 1 sec. It's expensive. It's super expensive. The 2 people that emailed me saying that they had that surgery said it cost $50,000. The detransitioner lady that I had on, I think she said she was able to get hers for $8,000. But yeah, it seems like really expensive. No. She said that she got, no, hold on. FFS is really expensive. The feminization surgery is really expensive. Oh, yours was 50,000. Oh, you might have been one of the 2 that emailed me. I think you were one of the 2 that emailed me as well, I remember. But the FMS, facial masculization surgery, I think is way cheaper because it's like implants and stuff. One thing I didn't expect was how traumatizing trying to adopt a new name can be. This plus moving across countries, traumatizing. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. I'll be back 1 second. Is Bad Bunny trans? I think she will be by the end of the year. We'll see. Or at the very least, she'll come in as non-binary. But I could be wrong. Well, okay, hold on. I'll be back 1 second.